Hey, welcome to a review of Space and Time, Episode 4. We're doing the final thing of An Unearthly Child, The Fire Maker. Sadly, I'm more of a fan of The Rainmaker, but I don't think Kazuko Okada was actually alive at the start. I'm pretty sure. You know what? We're all happy with Shuigatwa. We're interested in make Okada the Doctor. Just Rainmakering Daleks and Cyberman. But yeah, I'm not saying the last episode was kind of a waste, but they literally get thrown back into the cave at the start of the episodes. It's like, like other than and them saving and Cal, so Cal can be somewhat friendly. But even then, he kind of betrays them. Um, so actually, yeah, no, technically you could have skipped this episode really, because nothing like other than him not killing them instantly. Not sure, but yeah, uh, but Ian. But there's a fun bit before this where the Doctor basically gets Zar to confess to murdering the old woman and getting the tribe to kick him out, which is very much a Doctor thing to do. He won't kill, he won't fight, he'll get other people to fight in his place. It's, as Davros said, the Doctor, the man who hates weapons but will turn everyone else into one. But yeah, whew. It was that bit was fun because with that, I don't know, it's not on purpose because it's way too early and had no idea what the fuck they were doing, but it very much felt like that was like the first real like the Doctor is coming out, the way he basically proved it and worked with it being like knife blood, your knife has all the blood, da 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 da. I did like Ian being the one who started the fire. I figured it would have been the Doctor, but no, it was Ian who started the fire and used that basically to shave off like 5 or 10 extra minutes of this episode when the tribe are like fire, fire, fire. There is a fight between Zar and Cal in the cave of skulls, and it's one of the most weird fights ever. Like I don't know if this was just something they did in the '60s in British TV, but the fight is like old movie fights where it's like big swing blow stop, big swing blow stop, like that kind of fighting, but you just kept getting like smash cuts to the Doctor, Susan, Ian, and Barbara's reaction. Like it almost felt like some Dragon Ball Z things, like where they stop the action halfway through and just be like, "Wow, this fight's really impressive." Da 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 da. Basically to save animation budget. But yeah, Zar Cal kills Zar. Like they don't show like Zar, uh, Cal's head being like smashed open. Like they don't show that. But even then, it was the '60s. I'm surprised you were even allowed to like confirm someone was dead. But after all this, they are still in the cave, and what Susan's the one who actually comes up with the idea. Yeah, which is impressive. Is basically using torches and putting skulls on them. They trick the tribe into thinking they are those are the crew, and while the cavemen are like freaking out because they think the TARDIS crew have become zombies or spirits, so that the TARDIS crew slip away and head back into the TARDIS, and they leave. And in this episode, and this is the time they confirm the Doctor can't fly the TARDIS at this point. He has no idea what the fuck he's doing, which I do like as an idea. Yeah, because that is something that I didn't know happened in the classic era. That the Doctor never really, like, the Doctor got better at it. Like fuck, like in New Who, the Doctor basically can land at anywhere he needs exact nanoseconds. But I remember later on in classic, the Doctor gets on average better. But this is pure like fling random go. Now I understand why they're doing a pure random thing, because it's much easier for the Doctor to get involved in these random ass situations, because the TARDIS is basically just being like, boom, all right, you're going here or here, da 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 da, and all. But then what we know in the Doctor's Wife is the TARDIS knows exactly where the fuck it's going. It's not taking him where he wants to go; it takes him where he needs to go, which I liked as a reference to explain why the TARDIS did what it did. And they land on this random planet, and Susan checks the radiation, and it's fine. But like the end note stinger is that the meter goes from 0 to dangerous, which I don't know. I would have thought the TARDIS would have been able to pick up instantly, but I don't know. The TARDIS. But yeah, we start our next episode on the dead planet, or as the story is better known as, Dalek. Yay! We get I knew the Daleks were early. I figured we were going to get it by season 1. I didn't think we'd get the second story, episode 5, the start of it, to be Dalek. But yeah, that's one thing I'm really interested in. Looking back on the Daleks, because my retroactive brain is the Time War. That's how I know Daleks. Time War remnants, dangerous, but also very easy to beat. But yeah, uh, I'll give 2 ratings for this. This episode was probably my second favourite of the 4 episodes. First one, that my favourite being the first episode. Like, the official rankings is episode 2, episode 3, episode 4, episode 1. And if I had to give one, I'd say I'd give this 6. 6. Yeah, I'll give this a Colin Baker out of 10. Because, as I don't know, maybe it's just me really wanting it, so I'm seeing stuff that's not there. But I can see like the Doctor scratching in, like becoming more hard. No, ironically, there's a fun bit when they're running away. A Barbara falls down, and the Doctor basically runs on top, like runs over her. It's like, no, the Doctor would stop and save her, but carry on. Yeah, overall, an unearthly child. Why the noise? Overall, an unearthly child as the pilot to Doctor Who. Looking back, this is not what I would do as a pilot for Doctor Who, but at the time, this is probably the best you'll get. Because, like, with my knowledge of Doctor Who, I'm like, TARDIS, Daleks, like all these, the Time Lords, Gallifrey. Like, what do we know about the Doctor? But at the time, none of this existed. Hell, in the original unaired pilot, which I might do for a special one day, they claim they're from the 45th century. They're originally future humans. They're not the Time Lords. But for what it needed to do, I think this did a fun, concept, which, while could be better, it could have been worse. There's, I think it got it as a pure historical, which I know the classic series, especially early classic, does way more. Like, I think I think someone states the last true classical they do is during Peter Davidson's era, but somewhere in them, but they stopped doing classical, and there's no classicals in New Who because New Who everything needs to have an alien in it, which that's a weird thing. Something like Doctor Who not having aliens in the pilot is quite interesting, but I think it gives you an interesting idea to what's happening. It's a time machine, it can go anywhere in time and space. You get this mysterious character called the Doctor who, yeah, he's just called the Doctor. What is he? Sets up Ian, sets up Barbara the way probably the 60s could do it. Susan in being set up quite well. I think out of all of them, I would say if I had to give this out of 10 for a opening, I would say a 5, maybe a 6 if I'm feeling generous, of it being like a good basic introduction. And I think that's the word of the day for this. It's a basic introduction, but it's a fine basic introduction. It doesn't do anything too extreme, but it works well. But overall, that's an Unearthly shower done. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed today's video. Please remember, like, subscribe, share with friends, yada yada yada, YouTube things. And next time we'll be reviewing the first story of Daleks. And quite frankly, I'm ready to exterminate. Thank you very much, and goodbye.